Today we're working on Boston Fancy from Solos for the Viola Player by Paul Doktor. Welcome back. Welcome to the studio. My name is Cassie and I'm a professional violist and teaching artist. Today we're going to be working on a hornpipe titled Boston Fancy, and we're going to do a tutorial first, then we'll do a slow playthrough, and we'll do an at-tempo playthrough. If at any point you want to skip to one of those sections, check in the comments below. I put the timestamps in there. So we're going to start out with a tutorial, and it might be a really good idea to grab a pencil. I'm just going to talk through things that you might encounter in each measure, so it'll be really useful to have a pencil handy. So right from the beginning, I want to make sure that anytime I've got 16th notes, I'm going to be in the middle of my bow. The closer I get to the frog or the tip, the more uncomfortable it gets to play those fast notes, so I want to make sure I'm right in the middle. And I'm going to shape my phrase. When the line goes higher, I'm going to do a slight crescendo. When the line goes down, I'm going to do a diminuendo. So in the beginning, I'm going to start medium mezzo forte. Then we're going to do a crescendo, diminuendo. It's the same thing twice, so I'm going to do the same phrase shaping. And the other thing I want to point out is that I'm leaving my first finger down when I'm alternating between 3 and 1. Let me show you what that looks like. So leave your 1 down, don't pick it up. Instead of. So if you leave your 1 down, it's going to make one less finger that you have to find. So from the beginning again, leaving that 1 down. Down again and use a 4 here. Diminuendo to end your phrase, tiny retake, and then you want to set your bow right back in the middle. This is kind of the same thing that we had at the beginning, right? Crescendo, crescendo, diminuendo. Use 4 again. Then diminuendo to the end of the line. Now we just got to the forte. I need to hear a noticeable difference between the mezzo forte that we just had and the forte that we got to. 4 for the slur. You're going to leave 1 and 3 down here. Section at the mezzo piano is kind of an echo, so really quiet. You're going to push your elbow, your bow elbow, out a little bit towards the fingerboard to help you create that quieter sound. 4 again. Make sure 3 covers both the D and the G string here, so we don't have time to hop. So I can't go 1, 3, hop. I'm going to put my 3 on both of the strings, so it's going to cover both, not hop in between. So starting right in that measure, set 3 on both strings. Now I'm going to use a low 3 on this B natural here. So my low 2 is set on the D string. My 3 is going to go right next door on the G string. They should be touching. And then just regular back to normal 3 for that C. We just got to rehearsal A, and you'll see an indication here, S-P-I-C-C. This means that they want us to do spiccato, which is a bouncy bow. If you've never done that before, check above. I'll post a link to the tutorial I made on how to do spiccato. When we do our slow playthrough, we're going to be kind of in the middle of the bow, just doing really short strokes, because spiccato only happens when we get to a fast enough tempo. So in the slow playthrough, we're just not quite fast enough for it to bounce. So same idea here at A. I'm going to be piano. I'm going to be pushed out a little bit towards the fingerboard to help me create that quieter sound. And this is the same thing as the beginning. They just want us to bounce here instead of stay on the string. Use 4. Slur, and don't get too low in the bow because the bounce is going to happen at our bounce spot, which is usually about where your bow balances on your pointer finger. Use 4 again. Now we just got to the fine. There's also a fermata, which is that curvy symbol with a dot under it. And that means that I can hold for as long as I'd like. Don't go crazy. Don't hold for like 10 years or anything. But this is going to give me time to shift to the next part. This also says meno vivo. We're in treble clef, and we got to shift to 3rd position. So again, if you've never shifted to 3rd position, I'll post the tutorial that I made on shifting above and in the comments below. But we're going to continue on right now at the meno vivo. So I'm starting down bow, I'm in third position, I plopped my 4 on G. Still in third position. Now I'm shifting here to second position, so it's a half step shift backwards to F sharp, 3 on A, open D, and I'm going to shift back down to first position. I'm staying in first position. Fourth finger again. And I'm going to use that open D to help me shift back up to third position. So as I'm playing that open D, I'm taking my first finger on the A string, and I'm shifting to D, or where my 3 usually goes, on the A string. So let's try the beginning of that measure again with that 2-4 open, F sharp, A, D. Shift. Stay in third position. Second position, this is that half step shift backwards that we just did previously. First position. And we're back to alto clef here. 4. Again, 4. Now the comma here doesn't mean that I need to do a retake, it just means that we're going to take a little pause in the phrasing. So after I finish those 3 4s, little break. 4, 4 again. Diminuendo. Now here, I'm going to shift to second position. So where my 3 usually goes, I'm going to put my 2. And I can check this either with a tuner, or I can use my open G string. So I'm going to play my open G, shift, and make sure that they sound the same. You might need to stop the video and do that a few times if this is a new thing for you. Once I'm in second position there, my fingerings are 2, not touching 3, not touching 4, back to 2, and then 1 and 2 will touch because it's F sharp. 2, open, stay in second position though, 2, 1, 2, then it's a 4 again, 2, 1, 2, open, 2, 1, 2, now we're going to shift back down to first position, open, shift again, so find that 2 where your 3 usually goes, and then plop your 4. Cross 2 to the G string, and then reach back for 3 on the D string. Now my 2 is on that G that I just shifted to. The bottom note of that double stop is going to touch across the string on the G string, so it'll be 1 and 2 touching. At the very end it says D, C, al fine, which means da capo in Italian, or back to the beginning until you see the fine sign. So we would play the whole piece, we'd go back to the beginning, and then we would finish where it says fine. The other thing to take note of, and I briefly mentioned this, is when we get to the second half of the piece where it says meno vivo, that means a little bit slower. So you can go a little bit slower, that's the more lyrical section of this hornpipe. Don't feel like you have to kind of rush through that section. We do need to go a little bit faster in the opening part because we have that spiccato section, and we need to make sure that we're at the correct tempo for the spiccato to happen. So speaking of which, we're going to do our playthrough right now. If you want my bowings and my fingerings, I do post those in Patreon, and I really appreciate your support if you would like to join us there. Starting with my tempo at 70, and this is my quarter note. So in my head, before I start to play, I'm going to think 1E and a 2E, bum, and that's when I come in. I'm subdividing into 16th notes. So let's try our slow playthrough. 1E and a 2E. Shift up, ready, set, go. go. Some success on that slow playthrough. Our goal tempo on this one is going to be quarter note equals 90. So there's a lot of work that happens between bringing it from 70 up to 90. I would recommend maybe jumping up 2 or 3 clicks at a time, practicing small sections, and when you feel like you've accomplished that small section, try to put it into the bigger context. Don't try to play the whole piece at the faster tempo, because you might make a mistake like 2 measures in and then you'll never go back and fix it. So smaller chunks played at a faster tempo is always more successful. If you are ready for our at-tempo playthrough, my metronome is set to quarter note equals 90, and when we do get to the meno vivo, we just won't go meno vivo because our metronome is set to 90. So somewhere in the range of 90 to 100 would be a really great performance tempo. I'm just taking the slower end of that. Let's do it. 1, 2, 1 and 2. Set, ready, set, go. Beginning, go. Video helpful. If there's something that I didn't cover in the tutorial or the slow or the fast playthrough, please post that in the comments below. I really do enjoy trying to help from afar. As always, thank you so much for joining me and happy practicing.